surprising disagreement has emerged at the highest levels of the Catholic Church. One cardinal says SSPX confessions and marriages are invalid. Another cardinal says that is not correct. And the debate is raising new questions for Catholics around the world. Cardinal Gerhard Müller has publicly challenged statements made by Cardinal Víctor Manuel Fernández regarding the sacraments administered by priests of the Society of St. Pius X, or SSPX. In an interview with KTV published on July 6th, Cardinal Müller was asked a direct question: are confessions and marriages performed by SSPX priests valid? His answer was clear. The confessions are valid, but illicit. In other words, he said the sacrament truly takes place, but it is not being administered in a way approved by church law. Müller explained that the authority to forgive sins comes through the sacrament of holy orders. According to him, that authority is given by Christ himself. It is not created by the Pope. Church authorities can regulate or restrict the exercise of that authority, but they do not create it. His comments appear to contradict an explanatory note issued by Cardinal Fernández, prefect of the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith. That note stated that SSPX ministers administer the sacraments unlawfully and that confessions heard by them, as well as marriages they officiate, are invalid. Müller disagreed with that conclusion. He told LifeSite News that the note from the dicastery is unclear. He argued that the power to forgive sins comes from Christ through ordination. To support his point, he noted that Orthodox priests also validly grant absolution even though they are not under the Pope's direct jurisdiction. According to Müller, the Pope can restrict the exercise of priestly authority. He can also reserve certain sins to himself. One example, he said, is offenses against the unity of the Church, such as unauthorized episcopal consecrations. But that does not mean the sacramental power itself disappears. The discussion becomes even more important when considering emergency situations. For centuries, the Church has taught that the salvation of souls is the highest law. Canon 976 of the Code of Canon Law states that even a priest who lacks the normal faculty to hear confessions can still absolve validly and licitly any penitent who is in danger of death. This remains true even if another approved priest is present. Canon 1335 Section 2 reinforces the same principle. If a penalty prohibits a priest from administering sacraments, that prohibition is suspended when it is necessary to care for someone who is in danger of death. For this reason, some observers argue that a blanket statement declaring all SSPX confessions invalid raises difficult canonical questions. When discussing marriage, Müller said the issue is more complicated. Marriage, he explained, is brought into existence by the consent of the husband and wife before God. At the same time, the Church normally requires an external form for marriages. However, exceptions can exist. Müller gave the example of Catholics in China who may be unable to reach a priest without risking imprisonment. In such circumstances, he said, they can validly enter into marriage according to their conscience before God. Even so, Müller repeatedly emphasized that Catholics should avoid receiving sacraments from SSPX priests. He said believers should stay away from communities that are in open conflict with the Pope. Instead, he encouraged Catholics to attend Mass and receive the sacrament from bishops and priests who are in full communion with Rome. Regarding marriage, he offered similar advice. Although he acknowledged that certain situations can be complicated, he recommended against having a marriage witnessed by an SSPX priest. His reason was simple. The priest acts as an official witness representing the Church. So while Cardinal Müller says SSPX sacraments are valid, he also insists that Catholics should seek the sacraments from priests who remain fully united with the Pope and the Church.